Hello YouTube. I just wanted to do a quick overview on the Marlin crawler. Seems there's not really a lot of videos on YouTube about it, so I just wanted to take a minute and do an overview of my first thoughts, first impressions. I've also got a regular ready-to-run trail finder there, and I want to compare the two just a touch, show you the differences. Now, as far as straight out of the box, the only thing I have done to the Marlin crawler is the body lift, because the tires rub on the corners of the body without it. I don't want to hear it. I'd rather lift the body up a little bit and call it good. So I ordered a body lift. Rc4wd drive sent me this, both sides. This one's not threaded, so I've just got a long set screw stuck in there to just hold the body on until I can get a replacement. Now, one thing out of the box, metal bumper. This is an aftermarket bumper mount. You get the straight one that is aluminum. The rear bumper is plastic. The front bumper is aluminum, and then you have the aluminum mount. I got the mount that the number 2 mount, flipped it upside down to match for the body lift. Single speed transmission, 45 turn, the same was a twister. I think it's called the twister servo, whatever. Something else, you get metal servo horn. It comes with the Yoda 2 axles, which has the backwards steering setup. Instead of being in front of the tire, or in front of the axle, it's behind the axle, runs across the back of the leaf springs. You've got the white ultimate scale shocks, or white scale shocks, whatever they're called on Rc4wd drive. The ESC, Tamiya plug, whatever you want to call it. I wish they could update that. That's really my only complaint thus far. It does have LiPo cutoff, and it does have drag brake settings. I haven't really got to run the truck outside a lot, so I'm not entirely sure about performance, how it's going to run. Man, that won't focus. Anyway, you've got drag brake, and then standard, LiPo, and nickel metal hydride. The truck does come with a nickel metal hydride battery, 4 AA batteries for the radio, and a charger for the nickel metal for the truck. For the wheels, you get the TRD, I think, bead locks, the red rings. The IROC tires, they seem pretty sticky. I think they'll do fairly well. Receiver, I guess, is the same. It is a 3-channel with a 3-channel radio, whereas the ready-to-runs are not 3-channel. I don't think. I don't remember mine being 3-channel. I may be wrong, but I don't think it was. The skid plate is Delrin. I think it's raised up, tucks up a little closer into the truck. The drive shafts are different on this truck. To be a ready to run, let's see if I can get in here in a way to show you. You can see right here, there's a metal sleeve inside of that now. So maybe that will keep these from breaking so easily. I would assume that it would. I don't see how it would split that metal apart. I don't know how far down inside of here that is molded. If I upgrade the drive shafts, eventually I may cut one open and see how far down they're molded. By then I'm sure there'll be 50,000 videos on it. As far as the rest of the truck, leaf springs, frame, chassis, whatever, battery plates, everything else seems to be real close to the same. The rear axles also the Yoda 2, of course. But that's about it as far as chassis wise goes, of stuff I can think of right off the top of my head. I did just wake up a little while ago. I had to work last night, so I'm still kind of half asleep. Now for the body, you know, bob bed. I did ask someone online and they said that this is not the long wheelbase bed, because the long wheelbase bed's cut up here instead of back here, so it is an actual bobbed bed that they have made mold for. You get the rear roll bar. I'm gonna get some lights and put up there or something, I guess. And the grill, you've got the round headlights, and the grill is kind of see-through, where you can see a faux radiator. Of course, there's nothing behind it. It's just a sticker or something under there. Typical dash for the Ready to Run Trail Finder and Trail Finder kit. Nothing, you know, fancy there. The rear, same. Nothing fancy. It's just a bobbed Ready to Run, pretty much, with some upgrades and features straight out of the box that chassis doesn't have. Now to get to that, I'm missing a wheel and tire. I cut the sidewall on it somehow, but this truck was a Ready to Run, started out as a Ready to Run. It had the Outcry 1, which that's the Outcry 2 ESC. This is the Outcry original, or that's not, but it came with the Outcry original, and I have put a Hobbywing 1080 WP on there so I can use the program card. Now, as we all know, the Ready to Run's plastic bumper mounts, same servo. I have done revolver shackles front and rear to this truck. I don't have my shocks up front, so it's pretty saggy, but whatever, I ain't getting into that. This is a ongoing project I don't think I'll ever be done with. Let's see, under the truck, you know, Ready to Run, metal skid. It does set higher than the Marlin does. Drive shafts, as everybody knows, the infamous Rc4wd drive Trail Finder plastic drive shafts. You can see there is no metal inside of these, so I'm hoping those Marlin drive shafts will be a lot better off. And then the Yoda 1 axles. The rear may be, I guess it's Yoda 1 as well. Don't know, I haven't really ever compared them. Sorry for the video, guys. I'm using my phone, so there's a couple of differences. I can see the housing on this one's a little bit bigger around than this one. The screws holding the pumpkin together are a little bit bigger on that one than they are that one. The input, you've got the splines here and here, one on the top, whereas this one's just rounded all the way around. So the front's the same. It's got the splines on it for, I guess, added strength or whatever. Everything else between the two are pretty much the same. Like I said, chassis rails pretty close to the same. I believe the wheelbase is exactly the same between the two. So I like my Marlin crawler. It seems to do all right. But all right, guys. I just wanted to do a quick overview so somebody could see the differences if anybody were looking. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment.